Shalom, shalom. A few months ago, I had awakened, and right before I awakened, I heard. This is what I heard: final warning to come out of her, my people. This is what I heard as I was awakening early in the morning, and I woke up and I said, "Oh no!" And I knew what he was saying. I knew what it meant. It's his final warning for his people. He's warned his people, of course, through the prophets in the scripture, and now we're seeing them. And then he have righteous. I just did the righteous remnant. He have the righteous remnant group of people that's proclaiming this, and what this righteous remnant is proclaiming, it seems to be going over people's heads. But he's sending out a final warning. And when I woke up, the first thing I thought was, oh no, I don't want to do this. No, I know how people are. I know how people will take this. And another thing, I don't want to deliver this before too soon. I want it to be on his timing. And I told the Most High, after talking with him about this, I will not do this until you give me the confirmation to do this. And months went by, and I was glad, and I didn't want to do it until I saw this video from this YouTube channel, Enter the Stars. I've been watching some of his videos. I like his work. I like some of the things he bring out, and it's very interesting. Some of the things he bring out, dealing with our brain, dealing with the throne of the Most High, how he created us. It's very interesting. But he brought out a video concerning America and concerning Egypt, and this is what I'm doing here. I'm going to show the information that he brought out, and I will leave a link to that video that you can see the whole video yourself. But you see here on the screen, he said to us, "I will send you back to Egypt by ships." Deuteronomy 28:68. When he said this, he meant this. He literally meant he was going to send us back to a place just like Egypt. And this was that video was about on Enter the Stars. Little Egypt, America being Little Egypt. We know on the back of the American dollar there is the pyramid, and you wonder, why did they do this? You look at some of these images here, and here they go with their obelisks. Well, this comes from Egypt, and of course in America they have many pyramids. This is one with, their statues of Egypt, and here is the dollar bill with the pyramid and the all-seeing eye. Here is the birds. Here's the Egyptian bird, and here is the American bird. And you see, they knew what they were doing. And when this land of America, it's made in the similitude of Egypt. And this is how the Most High created that place, in the similitude of Egypt. Again, he knew what he was saying when he said, I will send you back again to Egypt. He was going to send us back to Egypt, not the ancient Egypt that we knew, because we had to go by way of ships, and he sent us to the Americas. One of the things he mentioned in that video, the eclipses. There's 2 eclipses that's coming through. One just came through last week, and 7 years later another one will come through. And when the 2 come through, after they finish, they will make an X. Now here is something that I must bring out. Luke 21, 25, and 26. Because some people in the awakening, some people are saying, we don't care about these eclipses. We don't look at that. We're looking at the scripture. Well, what did his word say? There will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, in the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring, men's heart failing from fear and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. We know this, but we don't understand. He's saying there will be signs in the suns, the stars, and the moon. So yes, we should be watching these things. We should be looking at these events and what happened. All right, this is the video that he's done. Eclipse collide at Little Egypt, America, and he has the Exodus begins. And I listened to this video, and again, it's amazing what he discovered here. And this map here is showing Egypt, the ancient Egypt, over top of America, and the Nile River and the Mississippi River and the Ohio River. They're running the same direction. They're running up, and it's just like Egypt, with the Great Lakes above, and above Egypt you have the Mediterranean Sea. And then we have the name of these places. So pause it here. In America, there's a place, right? It's almost perfect position where it needs to be. Cairo. Below there, Memphis. And you see all these other names. They're the same as in Egypt. And again, they named these places identical to the places that's in Egypt, because they knew this is the place where we will keep his people captive. This is the place. This will be our Egypt. And we keep the people in bondage. This is that place. And we have the power to make the people our slaves, and to make the people work in hard bondage with no pay. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's one of the things he says, nothing new under the sun. And what's happened in the past will happen before. Now, let me show you this X, because we have those two eclipses that comes through. And this is the one that came through last week. And 7 years later, there will be another that comes through this way. But the problem is, right here in the center is this area. It's this area right here. This is the area where it crosses. And it's almost as if they knew that this is Egypt. And now my point is, what does this mean? Because he bring out some very interesting points, and there's some things that, you know, I understand where he comes from, I understand what he means, but he's missing a bigger picture. He's missing a bigger picture. And he says the Exodus begin. The Exodus has already, it's happened. It's just most people will not see it and will not be a part of it. But the Exodus, it's already, it's been happening. But this, the Most High is telling us, number one, the X. If you see an X on something, it means it's wrong. Number one. United States, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's not correct. It's not righteous. It's an abomination. It's wrong. So it's an X on it. And another thing you see from this X, of course, Exodus. And he's telling his people, with these eclipses, he's telling his people, this is my final warning for my people to exodus out of this place, because my judgment is here, and I'm not going to prolong it any further. This is a word he gave me. I will not prolong my judgment any longer. And anyone that hears this message and you stay, then you will be held accountable for not listening to the voice of the Most High after getting a warning, after being warned. Before he does something, you know, he warns his people. And this is a final warning to come out of her. My people, that you be not partakers of her sin and be not partakers of her plagues. I told you, it's impossible to be in her and not be full of sin and abomination. And I understand. I just did a video on the righteous remnant. I understand there is rebels that will rebel against this. They will go against this. But remember, they're thinking they're going against what's coming from this channel. But when all said is done, they're going to find out who they was really going against. And they will hold their head down in shame. All wickedness, all evil will be put to shame. This is his word. I only created this channel that people that have eyes to see and ears to hear open up their eyes and see, open up their ears to the Most High, not to me, not to anything that I brought forth but his word. Open your eyes and ears to him and listen and follow him. Follow no man, follow him. This is all I do here, and people continually to go against the Most High. And it's going to be a sad day when her judgment comes. It says in 1 hour her judgment shall come, and she shall utterly be burned with fire. This is her judgment. We know it's coming, but the problem is we don't know what we should do to escape this. Again, that righteous remnant, there are those that will escape. There are those that will not receive. She will burn with fire, and those will declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahuwah. You must understand what the scripture is saying here. This is once again his final warning to come out of her because of what's coming. Okay. He says the Exodus begin. I tell you, the Exodus has already taken place. His people has been leaving the country for years now, and we're at the final end. We're at the end of coming out of her. But he's saying to his people, final warning, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sin and of her plagues. Shalom.